Speaker, Premier, honourable members, and people of the Western Cape. My mother tongue language is Afrikaans, Mr. Honourable Treko, but I pray that one day soon this Parliament will learn to respect it, even when we sing the national anthem. The Premier's speech was visionary, one which was meant to instill hope. But the province lacked the legal authority to implement it without central government's approval. That's a fact. Control over the deployment of the SAPs, the quality of social housing, education curriculums, school feedings, land reform, spatial planning, taxation are all the prerogative of the national and not provincial legislations. That's why even the trains are not running this morning. Let's face the truth. Provincial governments are mere administrative extensions of national government. What we need in the Western Cape is federal autonomy, whether we like it or not. Then and only then will we be able to implement our 5-year plan without budgetary constraints or constitutional constraints. Without devolved powers to provinces, they stand the risk of becoming mere burdens on South Africa's economy. Yesterday we observed a moment of silence for the death of Tasnie van Wyk, who was brutally and savagely murdered by a man released on early parole. You know what? Our liberal justice system is the real killer of this girl, because they give parole, early parole, to murderers and rapists. Speaker, last year during SOPA, I asked the Premier, are you prepared to call for an amendment to the Criminal Procedures Act 51 of 1977 to prevent early parole for murderers and rapists? And he answered me abruptly, no, I'm not. Premier, after what happened to Tasnie, do you still say no? The Western Cape's Constitution, Chapter 3, Subsection 9, gives the Western Cape Parliament the right to recommend by resolution that the national government make such an amendment to any act which is outside our authority. Premier, if you want to implement all your lofty ideals, if you want to improve the quality of your education, if you want to build affordable, durable houses for poor people, deploy police to wherever we may decide in the Western Cape. If you want to make households energy self-sufficient, develop an own policy with regard to land redistribution, and if you want to reinstate, if the people want it, the death penalty, then we need to become a federal autonomous state. We need self-determination. The Freedom Front Plus want the state to start negotiations with us to implement Article 235 of the Constitution and give the Western Cape and other provinces the right to self-determination if they so seek it through a provincial referendum. We want a corruption-free federal state where Christian norms and values will be respected and all cultural and language rights are recognized as of equal importance. We seek a system of government where race will no more determine your value or your self-worth, but where all cultural minorities will be protected from domination by any major majority culture. We are currently closing many schools for lack of sufficient resources, which we claim are being withheld by national government. Thousands of children have still not been admitted to schools in especially colored and black areas. We have poorly trained police. We have no detectives that can investigate crime. And we are hamstrung by labor equity laws passed at national level. For us to succeed, Premier, and for the Western Cape to flourish as the jewel in Africa's crown, we need federal autonomy. Kom ons praat 'n bietjie baie meer plaaslik. Wat is ons plaaslike bekommernisse, Premier? Ek word oorval.
You need to
Die mense
wrap
wat
up,
klagtes het,
Honorable Marais.
dat communique buitensporige huur vra aan arme mense. Ek het 'n vrou, mevrou Sylvia Mkombeneswa. Sy woon al 15 jaar in Ruiterwag. Sy verdien maar 1800 pensioen, maar hier is 2300 'n maand. En omdat sy nie kan betaal nie,
Thank
is sy
you.
nou besig
Your
om
time
hulle
is up,
uitsmyt.
Honorable Marais. Thank you very much. Time is up.
Ek sal die volgende op Facebook sit. Baie dankie.